everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you my speed version of the Art Joy of Sharing live stream channel show from April 25th, 2019. That's a different channel that I have with Peg Robinson, and we live stream every Thursday morning at 10:30 Central, 8:30 Pacific, and you can figure it out from there, from where you are over on that channel. I'll put the link to this full length show that you can go watch at the end screen, and you can click on that and watch it in real time. So the topic today was bohemian style, what I consider like gypsy or hippie style, a lot of bright colors, flowers, things like that. I was talking about that stamp there, trying to remember what that shape is called. It's called paisley. People in the audience over there reminded me that it was called paisley, but I'm going to do a 2-page spread here in my art journal that is made out of gel prints. And when I sewed this together, I tried to match up the colors and shapes as best I could from all the different gel print cardstock that I had to make the pages. So this is kind of orange, and I wanted to integrate it a little bit together to make it a little bit more like they're the same by using some different scraps of painting papers that I had. So I glued some of those on using Liquitex Matte Gel Medium. There's a little piece of paisley printed section of a napkin that I had. And then I have a couple photos that I've printed off of Unsplash.com, which is a site where you can use people's photos royalty free. So there's no copyright on these photos, and I will, of course, give credit in the description box below of whose photos these are from Unsplash. And one of them is a profile picture. A different person took the picture of the hand. And I'm using those as kind of cheats to make an interesting painterly face and hand without having to draw and paint them. Not that I couldn't, but that this is easier. And on an hour-and-a-half live stream show, it's kind of hard to get everything done. So I had already cut these out and tore the papers and stuff beforehand, cut out the chrysanthemum flower and all that. So then I'm using some acrylic paint. I've got medium yellow, crimson, and cobalt, and then I've got a little bit of sienna and white and black, and I'm mixing my own colors and painting over the photo, which I sealed with clear gesso before I glued it on there and before I cut it out even, to make sure that the ink doesn't run. And I'm just using it, the photo itself, as a guide for painting this face. I cut off the hair, I cut off the shoulder, and used a piece of gel printed stencil gel printing paper for the hat, or for the, well, it's a scarf. Somebody in the audience called it a do-rag, which I thought was kind of funny. But I cut those pieces out of printed paper, and then I just used the skin part of the face and the hand, and I'm painting over them, filling in the shadows, the highlights, and just using them as a guide. It's a fun technique, and it maybe you feel like you're cheating a little bit, but you're still putting your own hand on it. The girl doesn't look exactly the same when I get done painting it as she did in the photo. You wouldn't recognize that that's even the same person, probably. Cut all her hair off and and gave her a do-rag. So I'm going for kind of hippie gypsy, sort of. This is a fun style. It's come back in popular. And there are a couple artists that you would recognize that are doing this style. And it's fun. You can use all kinds of gaudy stuff like trims and sequins and all that type of stuff to jazz it up a little bit, as you'll see me doing. I was just using a little bit of white paint to kind of blend in some of the edges of the collaged paper, blend it into the background. That's what I was doing with my finger. And then now I'm painting in a little bit of hair that would be sticking out from underneath the scarf. It was sort of inspired by this lady that I met at the infusion center last Tuesday. That she's just so fun. She's just a fun lady. She, of course, her hair is gone because she's in chemo, and she's not letting it bother her. She has wigs. And a lot of the people at the infusion center had these type of scarves, very bright, colorful scarves over their bald heads. But she has wigs, and she was showing me a purple and blue shag wig, and all these different wigs. She was showing me the ones on her phone, and she wasn't letting that cancer bother her. She wasn't letting the fact that she didn't have any hair bother her. She was having a great time talking to everybody, showing off her new $10 dress, walking around with her little, pole. Taking her pole and walking around showing all the different wigs that she had, and her friend had got together and were trying on wigs. And anyway, she has a lot of bohemian soul. She does. She was pretty awesome. So the headscarf was kind of inspired by my trip to the infusion center last Tuesday. But yeah, I started to add some paper flowers on. I put on some trim, which is from Craftbox UK. I got them in one of their subscription boxes. I put some paper flowers and some stick-on gems inside the paper flowers. A little bit of fibers hanging down from the knot on the scarf. And then now I'm doing some more integration. I really felt that the right side had way too much white, a lot more than the left side, and so I filled it in with some stenciling. And then I started to jazz up the flower in her hand. I had used my Stabilo All pencil to add some illustration lines and shading, which, I'm always doing that. I'm trying to decide if I want to add some more flowers on this side. I decide no, this thing is going to have a hard enough closing, hard enough time closing as it is. Some more shading. I did do some finger painting onto the flower, which I don't think made it onto the video, but just because the flower now seems a little bit flat, I added some white, I added some blue, I added some fluorescent pink to make the flower in her hand stand out more. And then I did add a word, and I think that's pretty much it for this page. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment or question below. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can share this on Pinterest or on Facebook if you'd like to, if you think somebody would like to watch this. And yeah, now I'm adding a little bit of white Posca pen. I always add a little bit of white Posca pen because it's what I do. They should be paying me, those Posca people. Just can't stop myself. And I think I do go back in and add more color after. Adding a little bit of shading around the sparkly butterfly. Oh, and here's where I add the word. This is a stencil, but I'm just tracing around the one word, soul, with my black Posca pen, filling it in, and then I end up painting it with some acrylic paint, some blue to match the shirt to bring some of that light and dark blue onto the right-hand side for balance in the composition. So yeah, this was a really fun project. We had a good time on the live stream show today, and I hope that you enjoy this video or that you go and watch it in real time, because that's even more fun, and Peg's there doing her stuff too. So yeah, thanks for watching. That's it for me. Bye-bye.